Information is the most effective weapon in human history. Societies often begin with a pristine set of divine instructions, an unmediated, equalizing code of ethics meant to provide the same rights to everyone. But in the ancient world, the vast majority of the population was illiterate. Accessing this code required a bridge, a highly educated, deeply entrenched class of scribes, scholars, and priests. The individuals entrusted to protect the text found themselves with unchecked power, and no one possessed the literacy required to verify their work. This monopoly on sacred literacy creates the foundation for a system of control that the majority can neither see nor challenge, effectively turning a liberating code into a method for quiet management. Maintaining a social and financial monopoly requires suppressing any truth that threatens the existing hierarchy. A successful deception relies on curation. This unrolled scroll illustrates the vast volume of text gatekeepers navigated. One primary tactic is cherry-picking. Gatekeepers emphasize specific laws reinforcing their status, intentionally burying surrounding context that might grant rights to the public. They also utilize shifting definitions. Without changing a physical letter, the gatekeepers gradually alter the cultural meaning of words. A term that once described a voluntary community gift becomes a mandatory tax payable only to the elite class. Then comes redaction. Any verses that grant the masses equal rights or explicitly challenge the authority of the gatekeepers are simply omitted from public readings until they vanish from the collective memory. These shifts occur incrementally, often spanning multiple generations, so the population never detects a sudden change in their moral framework. Through silent omissions and twisted definitions, the original intent of the text is hollowed out from the inside. What remains is a shell of the original code, now optimized to serve the elite. Eventually, omission and reinterpretation hit their limits. To secure absolute power, the elites had to start inventing entirely new, self-serving rules. We can see the physical evidence of this in historical documents. This shows the literal act of human authorship, scribes writing new doctrines and inserting them directly into the sacred canon. This leads to the final step of the corruption, presenting this newly corrupted, hybridized text back to the public. When a human-made law is paired with the claim, "This is from God," it bypasses logical scrutiny and commands immediate, unquestioning obedience. From ancient temples to medieval cathedrals, wrapping human decrees in the aesthetic of elite, inaccessible authority is a universal method for hijacking human devotion. By attaching a divine name to their own desires, these gatekeepers turn the victim's spiritual devotion into the very tool used to exploit them. The result is a counterfeit spiritual ecosystem. Authority and resources flow upward into a central elite node, where extortion is disguised as piety. Generations of people end up living and dying for rules that were engineered in a boardroom, completely disconnected from any divine source. This dynamic repeats in any system where information is concentrated at the top, from corporate structures to modern political institutions. True faith requires rigorous intellectual vigilance. Passive acceptance is the primary vulnerability these systems exploit. We have to question our gatekeepers, seek out the unfiltered source material, and refuse to let any human being stand as an unquestioned middleman between us and the truth. The architecture of deception is fragile. It only stands when we surrender our right to read the code for ourselves.